ibang kalinangan.
Baka naman pwede.
Mula sa Institute of Philippine Culture, kami inyong samahan, tayo'y maghuntahan. Dito lang sa Baka Naman Pwede. Tuwing Huwebes, alas 3 ng hapon, dito lang sa Radyo-Katipunan, 87.9 FM.
Want to find out more about the famed org community of the Ateneo?
Yeah!
Wondering what projects and initiatives our student organizations are currently up to? Curious to hear the perspectives and motivations of the different people that make up the org community? Tara na't magkwentuhan! Kwentuhang MVP takes you to the vibrant and passionate organization community of the Ateneo de Manila. Tune in every Friday as we catch up with our student leaders and our organizations and find out how they're continually pushing forth with their advocacies. Kwentuhang MVP, taking the MVP to you.
Follow at radyo-katipunan in our social media accounts on Facebook, Instagram, and on Twitter. Good morning, Ateneo! Start your day right with your morning wake-up call. Good morning, Ateneo! Catch the latest news and stories around the campus. Good morning, Ateneo! Your daily dose of radio chikahan, tawanan, kantahan, and kwentuhan. Every morning from 9 to 10 a.m. Tuesdays to Fridays. Good morning, Ateneo! Your mornings will never be the same again. Mga Katipuneros, it's time to level up! Your talk variety program showcasing the best in media and other fields as we feature the most loved personalities and the best practices of what we truly refer to as Magis. Together with multi-awarded multimedia guru Mr. Noel Ferrer, let's all level up every Fridays from 3 to 6 p.m. here on Radyo-Katipunan, 87.9 FM. Palalimin ang kamalayan sa mga isyong napapanahon. Makisangkot at makiisa kasama ang simbahang lingkod ng bayan. Ang social-political apostolate ng Kapisanan ni Jesus. Ito ang Kwentuhang Bayan mula alas 11 ng umaga tuwing Biyernes dito lang sa Radyo-Katipunan, 87.9 FM. Dahil naniniwala kami na posible ang isang mas mabuting lipunan at maaari itong simulan sa isang kwentuhan.
Getting reliable health information about the COVID-19 outbreak can be a lifesaver. In times of crisis, it is essential to guarantee freedom of expression and the right to public information, in particular to counter the spread of disinformation. During the COVID-19 outbreak, only trust official information sources and credible media outlets. Do not share unverified information. This is a message from UNESCO.
Radyo-Katipunan, 87.9 FM. Rejoice, refresh, renew, and reflect. Join us for an hour of music that uplifts the soul. Listen to your favorite Jesuit music ministry artists. This is JMM Radio. JMM Radio. Get your day's dose of inspirational music. Tune in to JMM Radio every Wednesday from 1 to 2 p.m. Only here on Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM. Radyo Katipunan. News, insights, inspiration. Radyo Katipunan. Down from the hill and down to the world. Radyo Katipunan. The voice of the Blue Eagle.
Radyo, 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 Katipunan, radyo, Katipunan, radyo, Katipunan, radyo, 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 Katipunan, radyo, Katipunan. The voice of the Blue Eagle, kami di mapipigil sa pagbabalitang tumpak at tama. Buhay atin sa labas ng eskwela, ating ibibida lahat ng eskwela. Radyo, 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 Katipunan, radyo, 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 Katipunan, radyo, radyo, radyo,
attention, please.
If it's entertainment you crave,
Catch us on New Wave
surfing through the latest on our shores.
every Wednesday from 5 to 6 p.m.
See you there. Hello everyone! Good afternoon! Coming at you live on Radio-Katipunan 87.9 FM via Zoom. I'm Max, and when it comes to what's happening, I'll serve you all the facts. So please take this hour to sit back and relax, because today is New Wave. So how are you guys? We've officially made it to halfway through the week for the second time this March. So pat yourselves on the back. This week will fly by a lot faster than we think. For my fellow communication majors, please don't forget that it's advisement week and you do not want to miss that. Some deadlines are tomorrow, some are on Friday. So this is your sign to check your emails. Now, before we start the episode, it is time for me to introduce an important business. Happy birthday, Shoga. But anyway, for our local find today, we will be joined by Hobie's Hats, which is a local business based here in Metro Manila. In only a few months, they've made a cute collection of BTS-inspired merch ranging from t-shirts to bucket hats. So without further ado, please welcome Alyssa and Stephanie. Hi!
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you for being here. How are you both?
I'm okay. I think Ali's okay too.
Doing good.
That's good to hear. Okay, so let's talk about Hobie's Hats. So where did the idea for Hobie's Hats come from?
So Hobie's Hats is a small business that we opened just a few months ago, and it focuses on creating useful and budget-friendly BTS-themed merchandise for all armies. So for how we got the idea, it was only, I think, recently where our entire barkada finally gave in and started to really get into the K-pop craze. So we would bond and talk about BTS like non-stop. And of course, if you're an army, you know that there's a lot of Bangtan doodles out there.
Yes.
So we also gave into that too. So after a lot of research, which is really just our excuse to keep buying and supporting other local merch shops, we finally decided to give it a try. It was sort of an idea that was always there, but until we saw how fun and welcoming the Armypreneur community is, we began to conceptualize our small shop, and that's how Hobie's Hats was born.
Nice, that's great. And you guys have really made it far in just a few months, because I think I first saw your Instagram when it was new, and that was like in September of last year.
Yeah, September.
So that's great. So why Hobie's Hats? Like, how did the business get the name?
We actually get this question a lot.
Yeah.
And it took us forever to decide on the name. And we were thinking, should the name be in Korean or should it be in English? Should it have like a symbolic name, or should we use a song title? But then we thought, which song? Because there's so many of them. It's hard to choose. And it also didn't help that most of the witty ones were already taken. But since our first collection was greatly influenced by J-Hope, also known as Hobie, we got inspiration from his fashion and love for hats. And then we thought, okay, Hobie's Hats is a pretty catchy name. So that's what we used. And we were also so excited to launch. So we sort of went, sige na nga, yan na lang, and decided on that. And a few months after, though, we realized that we wanted to branch out and offer more products. So we discreetly made our name Hobie's Hats and Other Things on Instagram and on our website. So that's how we got our name.
Cute. So I think the two of you are wearing shirts from the collection, yes? Can we see them for a bit?
Yeah, so I'm wearing the timepiece, and then Ali's wearing the kawaii tee.
And then I'm wearing the bucket hat. This is my second bucket hat from you guys. My first one was the one with My first one was the one with RJ and Tata. So this one has Shuki, as you saw me wear earlier, and when you flip it over, it's Jimmy.
Yes.
I love how it's
very
reversible.
first followers of our BT21 collection.
Yes. So apart from these, the things that you showed, what are your other like products, or what are your best sellers and recommendations?
So our best sellers are our hats, of course, and since that's our specialty and what we're known for, but we would also like to recommend our shirts. I'm actually wearing the Kawaii tee and she's wearing the Time tee. And all our designs are personally made by us, and designing these shirts are have a more lengthy process which involves a lot of revisions, efforts, and creativity. But whenever we finally get to see our ideas come to life, it's always so fulfilling, especially when we learn that our customers appreciate our products. So, yeah.
Yes, and as one of your customers, may I just say your service is also very good. Like very easy to talk to on Instagram DMs, and you have like a lot of options. Like you have like same day shipping, you have Shopee, and like the two of you work very fast. So like that's very admirable of the two of you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, so what should we be watching out for? Like what new products can we expect like this year?
So it's actually the birthday, as Maxine said, of one of the members today. So happy Yungi Day, everyone, to all armies watching. And as she said, we just released a new hat design, and Maxine is the first to get her hands on the hat. So yay! But for future plans, since right now we're only offering clothing items, we would love to explore other kinds of merch. But right now we have no concrete plans. But stay tuned with our social media account.
Great. We're looking forward, and maybe a bucket hat for the September babies. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. Okay, so the concert, like you said, it's Suga's birthday today, and then the next few days will be the Permission to Dance concert. So whether we're watching in theaters, live for the lucky ones, or at home, it would be nice to be wearing our merch just to get the concert feel. So people can order. What are your socials? Where can everyone find you?
So you can connect with us on Instagram, but you can also find our products on Shopee. And our other social media platforms such as TikTok, Twitter, and Spotify are all under the same handle. So hobieshats.ph.
Okay, everyone. Well, you know where to find them. You know where your next BTS Boo doll is going to be from. It's going to be from Hobie's Hats. So the two of you, thank you for joining us today. And please don't forget to leave your links on the comment section of our Facebook Live so that people know where to find you.
Yay, thank you so much again for inviting us and for the opportunity.
Thank you.
Thank you, Maxine.
Thank you, guys. Borahae.
Borahae.
Bye.
All right. So now let's get to the main interview. To continue our celebration of Women's Month, joining us today is a multi-talented and very inspirational singer, songwriter, and podcaster. You may have seen her when we did Ave Maria, and you may have seen her on her numerous albums and performances throughout the year. Please welcome Miss Vanya Caster.
Hello.
Hi, Vanya. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you too.
Well, we already had a bit of kwentuhan before the Zoom chat, but then now, once again, how are you and what have you been up to the past few weeks?
I've been okay. No, I took a really long vacation over the holidays and extended to the first few weeks of February from my hometown. And I just got back here in Manila, I think a week ago or 2 weeks ago. So I'm still trying to adjust again to the lifestyle of being alone here. But yeah, I've been busy thinking of ways on how I can tell more people about this new music that I've released.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and I'm very excited to talk about your new music. And of course, as a songwriter, you never stop thinking, you never stop conceptualizing.
Right.
Right. But before we get to the present, let's talk about the past. So,
Ganon.
Okay, so where did your love for singing start? Like, what's the origin story? What's the first chapter of this journey?
Okay. When you said origin story, the first thing that got into my mind was like the villain origin story. Bakit villain?
Heroes have origin stories, my friend.
Yeah, I know. Well, anyway, I just I don't know. I just started singing. What my mom told me was that she noticed that I was singing to the songs in front of the TV. My MTV pa when I was younger, and from that she just um, made me sing in like all events, parang yung mga Christmas parties, school events, contests, weddings, everything. And then she got me to do voice lessons. So I think it started from that really.
Ah, I see. So we know that the past year, like I think here in the Philippines, like we've just started to open up. Have you gotten to do live shows yet, or have you, or are there any in the works?
Not yet, but my friends and I are planning. And since also I'm active in the church services, we have gotten back to live services also, and
Oh,
that makes
wow.
my heart so happy. So yeah, more to come hopefully.
Yes, it's very different like when you're performing like on a live stream versus when you're performing in real life. I see your live streams like on Kumu
On
or
I don't
Instagram.
yeah, on
Yes.
Instagram and some on Kumu, yeah. And
So,
it's so tiring sometimes
yeah.
because I don't know. Uh, you have to constantly think about like your internet connection. Do they
Yes.
hear me? Is everything working fine? Those things.
Of course, all of a sudden you're not just the performer, but you're also your own makeup artist, your technician. There's so much more things to think about. Now, doing these lives online, of course, it requires you to always like have your voice in shape. So, over the past why was there a giggle? Over the past 2 years, how is vocal training or like keeping your voice in shape like?
Oh, I was giggling a while ago because that was one of the things I really struggled with. Because live singing is kind of different for me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure
Mm-hmm.
for other singers. Live singing is different from recording. Parang ibang technique yung ginagamit. I don't know. So, I really had a hard time at a certain point. I was scratching my throat, I felt like, and I was losing my voice more easily. So, I got to a point where I was like, singer pa ba ako? Parang marunong pa ba ako kumanta? But then, I think that was a really good way to like check on my skills again and revisit. So, I took voice lessons again,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, I got to discover I'm more aware now of what I do right and the things I have to work on.
Ah, okay, that's very interesting. You're actually the first person who told me that the technique of singing live could be very different from the technique of singing recorded. So, how is that? Like, what exactly is the difference in techniques?
Um, yeah, I think I'm the first person because I don't know. I have this, that syndrome, parang red button syndrome daw. Na parang once you know that it's recording, parang you're extra conscious.
Ah, I see.
Parang ganon of if like you're gonna
Okay, I
make
think
a
we've.
mistake, it has to be
Oh,
perfect. Oh no! Am I back?
your data's dying a bit.
Oh no, it's
Okay, you're back.
unstable. Okay. Okay.
Okay, we can do this.
Let's do this.
Yes, let's do this. Okay, yes, you were saying red button syndrome.
Yeah. So,
Yes.
I feel like it has to do with my struggle with perfection. The
Mm.
feeling ko it has to really be perfect and all. So I kind of like um put myself in a situation where I'm like, oh no, I cannot make a mistake. It has to. So all my muscles like cram up. So parang lahat tensionado ganun.
Wow, because a while ago when I was listening to your album, I was going to say your voice is very relaxing and it sounds so like you sound so calm and it's so natural. So it's so natural.
Yeah, I think yeah, it's something that I've learned. And also because
Mhm.
siguro I'm singing my own songs. So minsan when I sing other people's songs. I put this pressure on myself to do justice to the songs that they've written compared to like when they're my songs. I'm like, oh, I sing this the way I want it to be sung.
Yes, yes. Okay. So, still in recording, but away from music first. The last time we talked, we actually got to know a bit about your podcast or the podcast that you're part of called Mary's Table. So, for those who weren't able to catch that on Ave Maria, can you let our audience know a little bit about Mary's Table? I think it's something that would be very nice for us to talk about now since it's both Women's Month and Lenten season.
Yeah, Mary's Table is a sisterhood or a group of girls that we gathered during 2020, the start of the pandemic, to kind of serve as a safe space for girls and to start conversations that are unique to women. And we started with Instagram lives, and then eventually we went on to do podcast. But for now, we're taking a break because everyone's busy. The transition to
Oh, yes.
the new to face ganon. But we're our Facebook page is still alive, and we still do rosaries every Tuesdays and Thursdays. So we pray for everybody there, and sometimes some of the girls pray with us. So it's a small community that looks out for each other.
That's cute. And especially like the past year, we always say this, but a lot of us were looking for some sense of community or like somewhere we feel like we could interact with people and feel a little less isolated despite the circumstances. And I think Mary's Table did a very good job with that. So, when planning your episodes for Mary's Table as well, like how do you guys decide on the topics you're going to tackle like per episode? Like do you choose themes? Do you like how did you have this set of things you wanted to talk about when you started the podcast? How does it go? Walk us through the process of podcasting.
Well, we originally wanted it to be a safe space, right? So we felt like we could not be we removed from the things that are happening in society. So if there are things that are kind of we feel like we have to talk about and provide another perspective, aside from the perspective that mainstream media offers, we plan around that. But the beauty of it being run by a group is that I don't have to do it all since I'm not the best in planning. I asked my other members to kind of create a series of topics that they feel are important to talk about. So we just follow those things.
That's nice. Well, we're hoping for your return because I think now a podcast like that would be very nice to listen to because it also gets a bit difficult to talk about like current events while like without the fear of being judged. So it's nice to get to discuss like things like news without knowing that you're in a safe space. I think that's very important, especially for discussion and discourse of any kind.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so back to your singing. Before we talk about your new album, define your genre because like listening to your songs, it's very unique. It's inspirational, but it's also kind of pop, but it can also be very acoustic. So define your genre. How did you kind of come up with this and what draws you to it?
I was having an interview with a friend a few days ago, and that's the same thing that she asked me. She's like, "What's your genre?" And I'm like, I really don't know. But well, and I also there are some of my friends who were fans of music, and I was asking them, "What do you think is my genre?" But I think knowing
Uno
my
reverse.
and they were telling me siguro parang indie folk na pop, something like that. And I think it comes from the fact that I have a very very wide variety of influences from Broadway to folk to chorale to ballads to worship music, it's just a mix of everything that I've been listening to. But I really love soul music and jazz music too. So you can kind of hear it a little bit here and there,
Yes,
but
yes.
it's not like one big genre na parang, this is really like soul or pop or something like that. When I know, I'll let you know.
Well, it's unique to you, so that's your genre. That's the sound of Vanya.
Thank you.
Okay, so now let's talk about your new EP called Woman. And very timely to talk about that now that it's March. So I know that you get this question a lot, but what's the significance of everything being in lowercase? All the titles, your name.
I actually don't know. I okay, you're making me think of it now. So no, naisip ko lang na when it's in uppercase kasi parang feeling ko sumisigaw ganon.
Oh.
So and me wanting my everything that I put out to be a kind of safe space. I want it to be like a gentle nudge or just like a creeping wind thing na parang it's here but it's not in your face. I think it has something to do with the way I do things also with my music. So yun lang yung naisip ko for now. Let me think
For
about
now.
it.
Okay, you have a checklist now. So, okay, first song we will unpack. Let's talk about Woman. So if I'm not mistaken, that was a single. That's also the title of the EP. And it's a very inspirational song. So where did the story of this song come about? What were your inspirations for it?
The EP is titled Woman, but the five songs wala siyang woman. So yung first song is Mother, which is
Mother, yes.
yeah, Mother, which is kind of a picture of a woman to me. Kasi for I think the strength of a woman for me is that we as women, we can mother, whether it be physically, spiritually, emotionally, diba? People go to us when they need a listening ear, when they need someone to understand them,
Yes,
to kind
that's
of guide them. So I think even if parang walang woman talaga, the whole EP, it kind of tells the story of my own journey into womanhood, and it starts with Mother.
Aw, that's a nice story. I noticed a lot also of the songs there are very timely, like to a lot of things that people feel now. Like not just me, but a lot of sentiments that are universal. Like feeling like we've been through so much and that we're still standing, which brings me to the song I'm Here. So please unpack this. I think this is called Real I'm Here. So please tell us about this song next.
This is actually my favorite track from the song, but this was the hardest to write kasi matagal ko siyang iniwasan. Kung wala lang akong deadline, hindi ko talaga siya matapos. But since yun nga, it's my first EP, I've been learning a lot about how I approach my writing then. And I think real is not the word real is not in the song also, but I chose to put the title Real I'm Here because I wanted to say something about the process, the realness of the process, being in the middle of the process na andito pa rin ako. Bakit nandito pa rin ako? Parang ganon. And it's real in a sense na if you've noticed the song, I don't know, wala siya kasing resolve. It doesn't end with something telling you that yes, your dreams will come true, or yes, your problems will be over for sure. And I think that it's a reality that we all face na minsan in our journeys in different seasons. Wala siyang resolve minsan eh. Minsan, the resolve is, I don't know yet. And that's okay.
Wow, I don't know yet, and that's okay. That's, I think right now for people like, especially like in college, that's something we need to hear, and that's something we need to accept also. Okay, so a break first from storytelling, and let's talk about your songwriting process. You know, funny that you bring up deadlines, because something I usually ask is, apart from a deadline, what else inspires you to write or finish a song? But you already tackled that, so super funny. But sige, when you write songs, are there certain routines or stuff that you have to like hype you up when you write it, or how do you usually start?
I think that's one of the biggest mistakes that I've been doing, or that's one of the biggest lessons that I've been learning about songwriting. Na parang feeling ko minsan I have to set it up. The environment has to be perfect. My schedule has to be clear. But I've been following this girl also online. She's an artist, and she says that like we really just have to do it. No perfect time for it, no perfect environment. When it comes, we just have to show up for the song to kind of unpack or unravel what the message is about. Just to be there, to show up in the process.
To be present.
Yeah.
So, in regards to writer's block, how do you get through writer's block? Is there anything you do? Do you take a walk? Do you listen to other songs or old songs? Do you step away first?
I think I do life first.
Oh, you do
Parang
life first.
yeah, parang when I don't know, like for real also, I finished the first verse and the second verse and then the chorus quick, and then after that I was like, wow, I can't say anything anymore. I don't know what to say anymore. And so I just kind of waited it out. And when I was writing it with my friends, we also encountered that a writer's block. And what we did was we played with it. We we just played with words. There was this one time, the lyrics that we made was like, every day I get to hold these pieces of me, but it started with like us playing around with the words, like every day I walk in my sleep, every day I swim because I'm a fish. So we played around with it, and after just like letting loose, that's when we kind of when the words kind of came to us.
Ah, I see. All right. So, okay. Someone usually comments this question, so today I will ask it. Melody first or lyrics? Is there a preference, or is it whichever hits you first?
Melody first.
Oh,
I
really?
haven't
Melody first.
tried it's harder for me to put lyrics first. I tried to do it, but it's harder for me.
Ah, I see. All right. So, back to the album. The next song is Steady.
Yes.
Yes. Please tell us the story of Steady.
Steady, I wrote this last year
Mhm.
during this time also, around
Oh.
March. Yeah, I released it on my YouTube, and it's part of the series that I called Undone. So it's just my parang laro lang, play around with songwriting, and not having the pressure to really produce it and officially release it on Spotify. So it started off as like that, but I released it again this time with a whole produced track. And Steady is just, moving forward, choosing to move forward with a bigger kind of love, with a deeper kind of love, and with a more trusting heart.
How can we as people have more trusting hearts?
Um, It's hard, but by I think it's just looking to something for us, diba? It's God. For other
Yes.
people, maybe it's um I don't know, the universe or whatever they believe in. But yeah, it's just knowing that like everything is gonna work out and something around us is working to make things better and not worse.
It's very inspiring for me to see artists who are very strong in faith and stay very true to it, especially like now at a time like this. So, how do you manage to keep a good relationship with God, like personally? And how would you encourage people to do the same?
Hmm. Well, aside from being a singer songwriter and an artist, one of my full time jobs is also a youth campus missionary. So
Oh.
I'm kind of forced to have or maintain a good relationship with God
Yes.
because I minister to the young people. And the thing is, I cannot give to them what I don't have. And everything that I have right now, siguro lahat ng mga issues ko or anything, that will eventually be relayed to them. So if I don't cling to God and if I don't allow Him to lead me and heal me, I won't be able to lead the young people also very well. So it's just, I feel like accountability that I have with the people that I love also. So it has a lot of, it has a lot to do with love.
Oh, that's nice. And actually, that's something that they always remind us of in Ateneo, like whether it be a philo class, theology class, or our formation classes, they always say it always goes back to love, the root of
Mhm.
anything, whether it be related to God or related to anything for the matter. It always has to go back there. So that's a nice reminder. I'll just acknowledge some of our commenters first. So first, our friend Sir Lester Mendiola said, "Hi Max and Vanya." So hi Sir Lester.
Hi, Silas.
And Maria Victoria Eda Ponan, good afternoon to you too. Thank you for stopping by. And remember that if you have any comments, if there's anything you want to share or ask Vanya today, please do so. The comment section is free. All right. So Vanya, the emotion of a particular song always helps people connect to it. And when I listen to your music, I really feel the emotion you have, especially like, of course, the songs you write, they're your feelings, they're your emotions, but even covers, you have a way of making it sound like your own. So, how can people build this connection to a song, or you personally, like when it's not your song, how do you build a connection to it?
Hmm. Uh, I think the beauty of releasing a song into the world is uh, that it no longer becomes yours only or the writer's only. It is open now for interpretation to everybody who listens to it, who receives it. So I may not know the intention of the writers who have written the songs that I have covered, but ayun eh, parang when I listen to their songs, if there's something in my life that kind of relates to it, or if there's someone in my life who's going through something, who I feel like can use this message, it makes me, I don't know,
Oh, you're on. Okay, you're back.
okay.
I got scared for a bit.
Where was I? Did,
We heard most of what you said. Like the
Ah,
song
yeah.
doesn't just become yours. Start
Yeah,
from
yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah. So I think, yeah, a few people have asked me this already, but when I think about it, kasi most of the covers that I sing, because I'm not very um, diligent with posting online, but like when something happens in the world, or when something happens to my friend and I want to comfort those who follow me online, sometimes I look for songs that could serve as comfort to people in at a certain time. So it's, I don't know, it's my desire. Siguro it translates lang to the songs that I sing, that like I hope like these songs could help you, something like that. So I feel like it translates to the songs, how the songs sound.
Okay, so still on this topic, some of your songs are new, some have been out in the world a little longer, but 10 years from now, I know that people are going to be doing covers of your songs throughout that time, and it will be sung differently and reinterpreted. So to you, with this vision in mind, do you think songs grow with you over time? Like your song specifically, you have an intention when writing it, but after a few years, do you think that your songs grow with you and change with you, or do you believe that the message stays the same?
Hmm. Well, I have friends, singer-songwriter friends also, who have written songs, and are still singing the songs that they've written 5 years.
You're back. You don't worry.
Yeah,
You're never
yeah.
going.
5 years, 10 years into it. So I feel like, yeah, because I feel like songs have a life of their own. Because even when I was writing some of the songs, parang it didn't entirely come from me. Some of them they were writing themselves. So I I feel like 5 years, 10 years into it, I think they will still be growing. And I don't know. I don't know where I'm gonna be in 5 or 10 years, but from where I am, I'm sure I'm gonna be receiving those songs differently.
Yes, and as I said earlier, a lot of the messages of your songs are very universal, relatable, and I'm sure like years from now, people will either be feeling that same sense of comfort and understanding from them, and maybe even more.
Aw, thank you.
So, we keep saying this, it's Women's Month, and we're so happy to have you here. But what does empowerment mean to you personally?
Hmm.
Let's go!
Your questions. Let me- um, empowerment to me. Ah. Ang hirap naman ng mga questions dito. Wag na nga ako mag-guess dito next time.
Gosh, I thought we were friends.
No, I feel like for me, empowerment means being able to have that enough security in or being comfortable enough with my own light to be able to share it with others also. When we launched Woman, we also had an Instagram live with a few of my singer-songwriter woman friends, and it just made me so happy that to see and to gather people and to be able to celebrate each other. So yeah, I feel like empowerment for me really means being able to lift other people up also.
That's great. And I'm so glad you brought that up because it's important to remember that empowerment also starts like from yourself. Like you said, you use your light, you help shed it on others. Because like I feel like now we tend to be a bit competitive. So it's great that someone you are here to remind us that it starts from you. Empowerment isn't always like trying to conform to something or being louder. Sometimes it's just being you more authentically. So that's great.
Yeah.
Okay, so from you, okay, so let me see. What other questions do I have here for you? Sige, anyone, if you could have anyone over for lunch or dinner, three women you look up to, dead or alive, who would they be? What would you talk about? Sige, let's lighten things up a little.
Oh wow. I've been reading a lot of quotes pa lang. Hindi pa libro. From Edith Stein. I think she's a Catholic woman, something. As in, she talks a lot about feminism, feminine genius, the Catholic way. So I'd really love to like talk to her more about it. See Maya Angelou. I love how just how much of a woman she is. And sino yung last? Si Mama Mary ba? Hindi ko alam. Baka siya.
That would truly become Mary's table if she was there eating with all of you.
Mary in a table with Mary. There's a lot of women that Joni Mitchell. I love her.
You know, everyone you mentioned, that would be such an interesting podcast to have.
I know.
That would be such an amazing episode.
Yeah. Now we just have to figure out how to resurrect them. Charot lang.
How are we going to get Mama Mary to join us for a podcast?
Ay, nako.
So, anyway, from your perspective, why must we celebrate Women's Month? We know that this was a proclamation made by several countries to celebrate milestones that women have achieved throughout the generations. Like before, women weren't allowed to vote, now they are. Women used to not be allowed to teach, now they are. So, to you, what's your reasoning for this?
Why we should celebrate it? Oh yeah, I think we should really celebrate how far we've come, and alongside that to also be excited for how much more what more we could do with the women movements that we have right now. And this is not just a celebration for women, it's also with women movements. A lot of it has been really successful because some of the men have taken it upon themselves to really support. And the thing that I say that I've been uncovering with my friends also is that even if the mainstream media is hugely disappointed in men these days, and that like I've been seeing in my feed like men are trash or something like that, and women must dominate. I think it's really important to acknowledge that in order for women movements to like move forward, it cannot only be women. It should be men and women working hand in hand together and loving each other.
Yes, that's so true. And that's something that shouldn't get lost in the celebration. That's something that shouldn't get lost in media, like what you said, because we see a lot of movements like that you just mentioned, that I hate men. Oh my gosh. Why are they like this? It's important to acknowledge that a lot have helped also, and that they should be on board with the movement for everyone to win, because at the end of the day, it's not about picking a side. It's not about one side losing, one side winning.
Yes.
We all want to win. We all just want to live happily and peacefully, right?
Yeah, and I was telling my friends, sabi ko, just imagine if just the women win, and like the men are sobbing. That's such a sad world.
Yeah, exactly.
We should all win.
Exactly, we should win. Only one side wins. Living in a good world, everyone has to win for things to be okay, for everything to work. Okay, now we have an interesting question here. It just caught my eye. So from my dad, Gino Cruz, he said, "Hi, Ma'am Max, and hi, Ma'am Vanya." I know y'all are friends. And then his question is, do you write your melodies against chords, or do you find the chords to your melodies? Oh, so back to music for a bit.
Do I write the
I think
grabe naman yung mga question nyo, kayo talaga.
No, she's mad at us, Daddy.
No, I just play around with the chords first, since hindi ako like, when I could sing them first and then eventually find the chords to it, but I'm not that good. I just usually mess around with the chords and then, ooh, that sounds good. Let's make that into like a couple of a melody.
I noticed a lot of your like songwriting processes always start with playing, with experimenting, with just having fun first. And I think that's the best way to do it. Like it shouldn't always be about pressure. Usually the best things start when you're chill and relaxed about it. And that's like what I'm seeing from you today.
Yeah. I hope it continues.
You will, for sure. We're rooting for you. Okay, so also back to music, what's your favorite instrument to write with? Like since we're on the topic of chords now. Usually write with the guitar?
Yeah, I love the folky feel that the guitar gives. So I usually write with it. But if there's something that I want to do, I want to try to refresh my skills in playing the piano again because iba din yung depth na nabibigay ng piano eh.
That's true. Every instrument always brings out like a different character per song, and sometimes they can evoke different feelings. And I think now's the time you can learn how to play the piano.
I hope.
Next time we see you, hopefully we see you hopefully we see you again. I'll ask you that. So, how's piano going?
Okay. It's okay.
No.
Sabihin ko sa'yo.
Yeah, it's going fine. Okay, so also being part of the music industry isn't always about making songs and singing. It's also a business. So what would you say are some non-music related skills that have helped you in your career as a musician?
Non-music skills.
Some people have told us like, oh, communication skills, like knowing how to talk to people. Some people might say math. Like, what are your non-music skills that have really helped you in your time in the industry?
I think relational skills. Just
Relational
dealing with
skills.
people. Yeah, it has helped a lot because the industry is filled with people. And I work with people all the time. And it's so hard to be a pain to be to be a pain to people because, like it doesn't make the process enjoyable.
That's true. That's true. I think that also goes with like knowing how to communicate because like when you're with people, you don't just stand around the people. You need to know how to talk to them also and things like that.
Yeah.
So for someone who's young, about to start her journey, whether it be in the music industry or if it's like in any line of work, what advice would you give?
To young people?
Yeah, yes, to young people or to anyone who's just about to embark on their careers.
Yeah, just show up and do the work. A lot of the things that I've gone through, sometimes I really don't like. A lot of things leading to this, I've had to do things that I had to drag myself to do. But a lot of times, things that don't feel good are good for you and they make you grow. So just show up and do the work, and just with God's goodness, I'm sure you'll find yourself where you have to be.
Out of curiosity, what's your favorite prayer? Like, is there a vocal prayer that you feel is something you always go back to? Like my family, we always go back to like a prayer to Saint Michael, the Memorare, things like that. So what's your go-to? Or what's your favorite? Or something that maybe, a prayer that maybe you wish more people knew about?
Oh, there's this prayer called Litany of Trust. Actually, dalawa, sorry. Litany of Trust and Litany of Humility. It's really interesting because when I first heard these prayers, I was like, oh, so these things are like happening to other people too. I thought I was the only one going through these struggles. So when I got to like, medyo mahaba lang siya, but it's really good. It gives you a lot of insight and it stills your heart. Yeah.
All right. So we'll look into that later. And I think it's very interesting to like discover these new prayers. And now it's a good way of grounding yourself amidst a lot of noise.
Yeah, and it has become really necessary.
Exactly. People look for that stillness and that form of meditation that kind of just brings you back and takes you away from all of the stress for a bit.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so now some quick fire questions. You don't need to overthink these. I'll just throw them at you and you just pass it right back to me. What's a random singing lesson or piece of singing advice that has actually become life advice?
Singing lesson.
I can
Breathe.
Breathe. Take a step back and breathe. Right, and that's your song also.
Yeah.
Okay, what is your hidden talent?
Oh, I can bark.
No, that's not it. You can bark. Like a dog.
Oh no, I don't have a lot of hidden talents. It's just that I think it's not a talent. It's a weird thing that I do. When I am bored, I bark.
It's still a talent, especially if it's convincing.
Yeah, it's a convincing bark.
It's a convincing bark. Okay. That's a big surprise. All right. What has been your most challenging performance?
Ooh. I think when I auditioned for Idol Philippines talaga.
Ah,
Yeah, really, that was really nerve-wracking for me.
I'm sure. Was it one of your first?
The audition was, I think, one of my first contests to join in after a long time. Yeah.
What advice can you give to people who are auditioning? Because, like, honestly, the auditioning process can get very, very nerve-wracking. So, what do you tell yourself before an audition?
Uh, Especially when there are like judges or like panels, just be there to be the solution to their problem. You don't need anything from them. They need you.
That's that's nice. Okay. So, what is next for Vanya?
Ooh, I don't know. I think I was telling my friend that I had a deal with myself that I'm not gonna be talking on my YouTube or wherever unless I release my first EP. So now that I've released the EP, I think I'm gonna do a lot of talking on YouTube and the things that I'm interested about, women, spirituality, just anything that like I want to talk about or the people want me to talk about. So I think that's
Oh, so you're going to start releasing like different content on YouTube like that?
yes.
That's going to be exciting. So, do you have anything planned out already? Like, do you have a roster already?
Oh, since it's Women's Month, I've been discovering and binge watching a lot of really good women on YouTube. Yung mga kaso mga luma na talaga, like they're now 90 years old or something. But like the wisdom that I get from them is so rich. And it's so classic talaga. So I think I'm gonna share more on that.
You know, because you're talking about like these lessons that you learned from people like 90 years old. That's a very different generation from ours.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of things that they talk about are things that still apply today.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Because like the human experience, it's not textbook. It's different for everyone. But there are just these things that everyone can relate to and everyone can learn from. Like I really like it when people are more than willing to share like their life lessons, wisdom, their experiences, because it really helps everyone out. Like it helps people get
Yeah.
out of tough situations. It prevents people from getting into tough situations also.
Yeah, and like looking at their life that they've lived, I think we can learn so much. And like the something that my mentors say is that learn from us or like learn from the older generation and make new mistakes.
I think your YouTube channel will be a very good catalyst for that. It would be really nice to see these lessons getting echoed to our generation and on a platform that's very accessible, like such as YouTube.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'm really excited also. So yeah, follow me, you guys. Ay, subscribe pala yun. Subscribe.
Subscribe. Okay. So, since you brought up subscribing to your YouTube channel, please let us know where we can find you. Like, drop your socials, drop your account so that everyone knows where to find you and we can stay tuned for this content.
Yeah, you can always find me on the lowercase. Lower, like small, lowercase Vanya, Vanya Castor at YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. I'm on TikTok also from time to time if I'm not lazy to post. But yeah, maybe you guys can help me with that. With Facebook also, I have an Facebook expression page. It's called Vanya.
Wait, expression page? Did I hear that right? What's an expression page? It's my first time hearing the term.
No, because usually, diba, when people when artists ask people to follow them, it's because of their music, something like that. But I have like a ton of stuff there, like for not only covers, but I write reflections also, so some of them can find it there, just so they know what they're following.
All right. Well, I'm sure a lot of people will check that out. We have a few more comments from Wella May. She said, "Go Ate Vanya." And from Donna Baggins, "Yes po, please share more on your YouTube channel." So I know we have viewers who are very, very excited to see what you have planned.
No pressure. Yeah, sure.
No pressure. No pressure though. Take your time.
Yeah.
As you said, have fun with it. You shouldn't be pressured with it. Let it come naturally, let it flow.
Yeah, we'll have fun there, you guys. So see you there.
All right. So before we go, is there anything you would like to tell our audience?
Yeah, stream Woman on all digital platforms. It's under the artist name lowercase Vanya, Vanya, and I don't know about you, but these songs have really been such a friend to me, and I hope it becomes a friend to you too in whatever season. If you're going through a hard time, if you're going through I don't know, some things that you've been struggling with, I hope that you find a safe space in them. So stream Woman.
I'm sure people will. We have one more comment from JV Olasiman. "Good afternoon, sisters." So, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, brother.
Yeah, good afternoon, brother. Well, Vanya, I know that your songs for sure will be a friend and even a home to a lot of listeners. When I was listening to it a while ago, I wasn't the one singing, but I felt heard. I felt understood, and I know that a lot of people, young and old, will also enjoy the song. So guys, the ones listening now, listeners new and old, please listen to Vanya's EP. It's a great comfort right now, and you sang so well.
Thank you.
There, people are sending roses in the comment section. People are sending roses in the comment section. So if we could hand them to you, we would. There was where are the emojis? Maybe I can just send it to you.
Ooh.
So there you go. All right, the world really needs a big hug right now. The world really needs a big hug right now. We all need prayers, and we all have to pray for peace and that things get better soon.
Yeah.
Right? And the things get better soon. Hopefully, we're hoping that things get more peaceful, things get a little happier, and I hope that every day, people in our audience, you find something to do that can bring that happiness to both yourselves and to someone. Every day, take a step forward. Find your way, find your steady.
Oh, that's so nice.
Thank you.
Should have used that. Find your steady.
Hey, isn't your song kind of like that? Find your steady.
Yeah. Thank you, Max.
Thank you, Vanya. But before we say goodbye properly, allow me to thank a few people first. So, to everyone in our audience, thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for being lively in the comments. Thank you to Sir Justin for handling our broadcast and for, of course, supporting us throughout the episode. So please join us again next week. We still have a lot more guests. We still have quite the lineup for the month to come, and we hope to see you all again soon. Don't miss out. Follow us on Instagram at newwave.rk to stay updated. Catch the replay on Radio Katipunan 87.9 FM's Facebook page, YouTube, and Twitter Live, all of which go by at Radio Katipunan. But most of all, thank you to our wonderful guest, Miss Vanya Castor, all lowercase. Thank you for sharing your wisdom with us. I learned a lot, and I'm sure our audience did as well. Thank you for spending your afternoon with us. I wish you the best for your upcoming projects, and I hope to see you again soon with updates.
Yeah, with updates. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Max.
Thank you so much. So once again, this has been Max, and when it comes to what's happening, I serve you the facts, and this has been New Wave. We'll see you again soon. Bye. Thanks, Van.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please?
If it's entertainment you crave,
Catch us on New Wave.
surfing through the latest on our shores.
Every Wednesday from 5 to 6 p.m.
See you there.
Radyo Katipunan. News, insights, inspiration. Radyo Katipunan. Down from the hill and down to the world. Radyo Katipunan. The voice of the Blue Eagle.
Radyo